made an ephemera holder for my ephemera for junk journals, and it's a work in progress, but I'll show you how I made it. This one's a little more of a long-term project. I mean, maybe, I think some people maybe like if you tackle a project and you go you go ham on it, maybe somebody could finish this in a long day, but that just that's not me. So this is what it is. This is an old box. This is a box from something, and it had all the flaps. I just saw it and I thought I want to do something big with it. So I was either going to make a really big journal, really big junk journal, or I was going to do something like this. So these are the flaps that I cut off, and then it had these sides. I don't even remember what came in it, but I covered the outside in some paper that I didn't think I would ever use. I had to have it. It was on sale. But I just took some, some paper and covered it with it, and it actually looks pretty cool. I like the color scheme. I do want to finish decorating the outside with some ephemera. And we're going to do this really carefully because I don't want to set anything on fire. This, as I said, it's a work in progress. So let's start from the center and you'll see what I mean. These are little tabs to glue other pages to. So this, it's definitely a flip, like I can arrange it any way that I want, right? Any way that I want. This here is probably just going to be where I set stuff. So because if I put anything here that's like super fun or design, actually what I could do is put a pocket to hold some bigger pieces of paper, like this, maybe like this. Well, not those, but something like these, like put those in there, maybe. Or I'll just leave it as it is. It's like, this is like the staging area, right? So this side, as you can see, has these pockets, and I used, the clear gift, when you're making smaller gift baskets, I did these gift basket mugs, and I bought these clear bags. They're a little bit thicker than what I use to cover my art prints. Like this, they're thicker than this. So, and this is hard to work with because it's see-through. But I just measure that for pockets, because for me, in my brain, I need to see it. If I don't see it, it's not there. So I used the clear gift bag packaging, brand new. And I made little, hinges on the inside. So on the inside here, we have this thin, but folded in half. So double that width, folded in half, so that I can actually put a little something in here, and it kind of folds out just a little bit, unless it gets glued shut like there. But I'll just take a little pole and open that up. Not a pole, but a wooden pokey tool. Okay, so you see how that opens. Made those hinges, not for the bottom, and then I chose to cover the front with this is just a piece of paper. Some of these pages you'll see are more decorative than others. And then this is just all scrap paper. So brand new gift bag plastic wrap, paper, and Velcro to shut it. If it can be shut. You'll see some of these pockets cannot, because they're just bursting with ephemera. But it's kind of a pain in the ass because this is clear and it's hard to see. But to me, it's worth it because I need it to be see-through. And for me, this works fantastically. Now, the first couple times I worked on this project, I was like, well, I want to ink the edges. I like the contrast. It just looks, like I did here. It's just finished, and I was having a lot of fun with it. But if you'll see a couple of the newer pages that I didn't ink the edges because I kind of forgot. I forgot the person I was. So this will hold the bigger pieces, and I'm glad I'm taking time to build the pages, because I don't know. I guess as a creator, we kind of morph and change and grow, but at least for me now, like I'm going to put some page here that maybe I can use, like there's longer pieces or bigger pieces here. Maybe some smaller pieces will go here. Like I have this page made that I got to glue in. Maybe it'll be this one, because it's smaller, or maybe it'll be bigger, but I can, however it is, like if this coordinates with this, and then maybe also this, and then this, then I can change how I fold it. I didn't have, I have 8.5 by 11 cardstock. So I thought, well, how am I going to make that if I'm going to use the cream colored ones or the ivory colored ones as my background? I folded, here, I'll pick this up and show you. Now that I put the phone on the tripod. I folded this here and then glued it as good as I could into here, because this is one of the, like this, just the tabs. So I glued 2 pieces of the paper with the pockets together, and then that's what's gonna happen here. So I have these ready that I made, but I haven't glued them in yet. So what happens is I glue them here. So there was a lot of design involved, like how do I want this to be, and how open am I going to be to making adjustments if it doesn't work, because sometimes when you put pages together like this, things get caught. So it's just a matter of, okay, so I just gotta be willing to adjust, you know, and maybe even if a tab doesn't work, being able to cut it out and then I'll just use it somewhere else in here somehow, you know. So this is, you know what, this is not only a big project for making an ephemera holder, but I do like, in fact, I think this might actually have to, maybe I'll leave it blank so it doesn't get caught. Just the designing and the creativity of making something that I haven't seen before is a great exercise in creativity. And, you know, sometimes when you start a project and you never pick it up again, well, sometimes when I do that, it's because I'm way too overwhelmed, way too intimidated. I feel over my head and I can't really process where to go next. With this, I've been able to pick it back up again and work on it. So I'm loving how this is turning out, because if I wasn't, I would just have to change something. So we're just going to go here, here. More pages will come here. So these pockets are bigger. I just put a lot of the smaller stand-up stuff, like some journaling cards and things. And then we've got the smaller pieces here. I've used a lot of them because some of these pockets were full. But this is where those little, are those hinges? Hinges come into play, where I can put more. This didn't tear. But if it did, I would just probably glue it back or something and put less in it. So more will go here. And then just, you know, a place to put all the scraps and stuff. Because sometimes it can be overwhelming saving all of our scraps. So some either get to be passed on or recycled or something like that, right? But I want to use as much as I can, especially when I do projects and there's leftovers from the project. I hate to say leftovers because they're not leftovers like clearance sale leftovers. They're just like, this is left from this project. They'll be great for another one. So like these, I'm going to do another video on ephemera too, because I think that'll be helpful. Those I think are great because these are all cut out by hand. I'm not going to just get rid of those. Those took me time. So this is my work in progress. This is my big, thick, giant ephemera holder. One of the adaptations I was talking about was when I closed this part here. Apparently this was getting caught and this is coming up. So I can either try to, maybe the edge was up and it just got caught. So I can try gluing that down again and then making myself a note to not close it, because then it will all show together. But I can also just redesign it, which will kind of be a pain, but then I'm going to have this for the long term, right? I love paper. I don't see myself not wanting to do this. And so when I go to make new pieces, I just kind of have been looking at, okay, so what's worked for me now? Because I want to finish this. I want this done. I do wish I had remembered to ink the edges to stay consistent, but I feel like me, the day I was when I made this, was not having it anyway. So I probably was, there's the reason I wasn't doing that is because I'm like, no. So I will probably I would like to work on this tomorrow too. I got a lot of plant stuff I want to do, but I can finish this one. And because this is, again, it's a real, this is how it looks like without the decorative pieces on it. Because I also don't care if what's in it matches or not. I just want it to look finished, cohesive, because that really helps my vibe, you know? So this one doesn't have the decorative pieces of the flaps. As you can see, this is what it looks like. Because I feel like the cattywampusness of this, I don't know that would probably mess with my vibe. Like, oh my goodness, you know, I don't want to make stuff with that. Like, because it's just like, I don't want to see that right now. But by putting the little trim pieces on it and the flaps, it's just, I think it's a great exercise in trusting myself in the process that I can make something that I like. And I know if I like it, someone else is going to like it too. So these will be finished. And then I have my papers. I have another one set up I'm going to show you. Oh, I have sticky notes on this. One moment. All right, well, these sticky notes are determined, but there's this one. So I started this one, and there's another clear piece that has sticky notes stuck to it, but just building it, cutting this, it's a challenge, but I think it's worth it for the long term. So this is great. So these ones, what I would actually do is glue these in. Where should we glue these in? Should we glue these in together? Yes, I think we should. And yeah, sometimes I do feel like, oh, I want to make it match, but then there's times where I just have to remind myself, just have fun with it. You're not going to care in the future. Just you're not going to care what it looks like in the future. Just keep following your heart. Yeah, let's put something big here, like this one, and then we'll go ahead and try to experiment with that. That should be fine, right? That should be fine. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and put this flat over here to move the candle. I just had to. I'm going to use one of my go-to glues for that. I'll probably use both. Here we go. Oh, I glued it shut. Why? Okay. Let's just try a brand new one, and I'll mess with that one later. Okay, so we're gluing this onto here, reminding myself, and I love how this turned out. Do you have an ephemera holder for your little goodies that you put into journals you make? Let me know. I would love to hear about it. Because I know they don't always have to be super big. People, like, I've seen smaller ones, or maybe like a smaller one for themes. Like if you like to make Alice in Wonderland journals, maybe you have a smaller holder for that, or I would love to know. And if you have a video, feel free to let me know and I'll go watch it. Okay. Get that really good there, because sometimes, thankfully it's not hot here. It's May in Washington State, and for the past, well, handful of years, it's been really hot by May, but it's not now, because normally this will dry really fast. The warmer it is, the faster this glue dries, and then it will actually pop off. But I do this quickie round of this, super quick. And then anything that pops up or that needs some touch-ups for the glue on the edges, then I just do that. I just do that afterwards. Well, okay. Sometimes if I want to make something and I don't have the creativity with me, in me for that day, I just can't. I'll do something like this. Or organize my supplies where I can still make something. I can still touch the paper, but I don't have to do the design, you know? And then usually the next day I can do something of the design. Sometimes we just got to get our hands on the paper or the fabric. And just like some of the other things I make, well, most of what I'm making lately is with stuff I already have. Because I either have a lot of stuff, and if I don't have it, I can make it. I've got a lot of stuff. Okay. Just kind of hold it. One thing I love about this, the glue, the second glue that I used, is it seems to grab on pretty quickly, which is a bummer if things need adjusting. But it's great for things like this where I'm just thinking, okay, grab it. I don't want to sit and hold you all day. because it's one of the glitter glues that people like to use. And I thought, I was in a community where I actually asked them, oh, glitter glue, like Elmer's, right? And they just looked at me weird and didn't say anything. So I actually bought Elmer's glitter glue thinking that that was it, and it was warping my paper and it wasn't working. Then a kind soul told me, oh no, sweetie, it's not that glitter glue, it's this one. Thanks for telling me. I appreciate kind people in every circle, especially the creative community, you know, like, can we just be kind to each other? Okay, I'm so glad I moved that candle. Yay! All right, so this is here, and then we can put some bigger pieces in there. I know it's gonna change over time, but this one I'm gonna fold because I don't need all that. But let's just put something in here for now, shall we? I do have a lot of Alice in Wonderland stuff because I did do some journals, folios, and things with that theme. And I do love it, but I don't really want to do that. So let's see. Are the hinges working? Because it feels a little tight. Feels a little bit tight. Oh, are we stuck? This is cool. Sometimes I think, what was I thinking taking on a big project? But then I see how it functions for me, and it helps me keep everything kind of organized-ish. Organized enough for my brain, and it helps my creative process. And I don't have to keep a bunch of plastic bins with themes anymore. And I love the sepia part. So there's a lot of reasons that I love this. And I'm happy I made this. I recommend giving it a try. Yay! Okay, that's done. So this is my ephemera holder, everybody. It's really interesting to try to close it. And it's gonna get more interesting as more papers come into play. But I also know that I don't have to keep it neat, at least like perfect looking, because it's just here to hold ephemera, and it's going to be part of the process. And I think I said this before, but it bears repeating that I love just the creative process of making this helps me in other forms of art that I like to create. Yay! So this is my ephemera holder. Thank you so much for watching. Please like this video and subscribe to my channel so you can see the new stuff I'm up to. And I'll see you next time. Bye!